accidents and explosions have become a common phenomenon in Nigeria. This year alone, records show several of such menaces occurring with severe casualties, including environmental and economic losses. Findings and data indicate in the last 3 months, there have been cases of tanker explosions across the country with heavy impact, resulting in deaths. For instance, in April, 10 persons were reportedly burnt beyond recognition at Bauchi Road Junction in Jos, the Plateau State capital, when a petroleum tanker conveying premium motor spirit lost control, crashed and burst into flames. On the 9th of June, a tanker carrying liquefied petroleum gas, LPG, around Gwagwa FCT sparked while efforts were being made to fix the fault. Now, less than 24 hours ago, an unspecified number of persons lost their lives following a tanker explosion in Ore, Odigbo Local Council of Ondo State. According to reports, the tragedy occurred when some residents of the area tried taking advantage of a truck conveying petrol that crashed by scooping fuel. Over time, such practices have become the order of the day. Despite dire consequences, although relevant authorities are worried by this, observers believe not much is being done to curtail this menace and bring it to the barest minimum. What caused the accident, and how can these incidences be curtailed? On this episode of the program, guests shall be providing answers to these questions and more shortly as we discuss the Ore tanker accident. This is Nigeria Today. I am your carrier, Clinton. Welcome. But before I go further, before I go further, let's have this report from Abiola Ario. As she says, people have lost their lives and scores of others sustained varying degree of injuries during the tanker explosion at Ore along Benin-Lagos Expressway. Stay with us.
Pandemonium rocked Showboy community in Ore, the headquarters of Odigbo local government area of Ondo State on Sunday evening when a petrol-laden tanker lost control along Benin-Ore-Lagos highway. Some eyewitnesses could not ascertain the number of casualties from the explosion, but confirmed that a pregnant woman and some children died in the process, while others sustained different degrees of injuries. Some of the victims were said to be scooping the fuel after the tanker fell and spilled the content on the road.
Some people they pass, some people don't know that thing, the fire don't they come and enter the water. So some people as they pass now the fire just catch them. Some old people, some children go then dead.
As at the time of filing this report, those who cheated death are currently receiving treatment at different public health facilities in the state.
Welcome back. Joining me to discuss Ore tanker accident is via Zoom is Ekiti, from Ekiti is Kadiri Olarenwaju, Head of Operation, National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, Ondo, Ekiti Operation Office. You're welcome to Nigeria Today.
Thank you. Good evening. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So, Mr. Kadiri, you heard, I hope you listened to that report. You were on ground earlier this morning at the scene of the explosion. Tell us your findings.
We had the distress call this morning and we responded. We were on site there this morning, and it was as a result of a tanker falling from the road onto the river, and the fire was ignited by a woman downstream who was cooking. So the fire came from the other end and it consumed an entire stretch of farmland, and people lost their life.
How many people lost their life actually? How many fatalities were recorded?
I can't hear you.
I said, how many people lost their lives? Can you tell us what, how many people lost their lives?
At the hospital, and it was confirmed that 8 people were born beyond recognition, but one was in a general hospital or were receiving treatment. Then another one, Golua Hospital receiving treatment. So 2 people actually survived.
Okay, now, what exactly, were you able to get exactly what happened and what really caused the accident? We understand the truck crashed, or what exactly happened?
From eyewitness account, when we got there, when the truck fell, the driver was able to drive away the top, remaining the tank, and he was telling them that they should move away. So I learned that the fire didn't occur until about 15 minutes after it fell. As a matter of fact, the driver drove away the engine, remaining just the tank that got burnt.
Okay, Mr. Olanrewaju, some believe that there are no adequate measures really in place to curtail this menace, because we've had several, cases. Like even this year alone, in February, we had the same area, the Odigwe local government area. We had one, although luckily nobody lost his or her life. There was no fatality, there no casualty. But again, 9 days before then, there was still another incident in the same area. So what would you say to this in regard to measures being put in place to curtail this?
I think it will involve a lot of agencies, the petroleum marketing outfit, NNPC, even transporter themselves, and trucks owner. So there must be a concerted effort to look at the problem holistically so that it can be addressed. Because from what we learned, it was not as if the fire was really instantaneous. It didn't occur. It occurred over time. And if there could have been something like fire hydrant around there and fire service were on time, probably it will have been averted. But essentially, it was more or less a suicidal mission for those who died there, because it's not it's unheard of for someone to be scooping fuel. As a matter of PMS, it's highly combustible, so it was like inviting trouble.
So, Mr. Olanrewaju, what has been the role of NEMA in all of this?
Well, as a response agency, we had to go there and look at the distress and make a necessary report to the head office, and they will now do the necessary things and see that the right things are done. So we are already on it. Hopefully by tomorrow, we'll send a report to head office, and relief and some other things may be approved to be given to the people immediately affected, and see how they can start their life, because it's not all of them that dies, but some of them are impacted. Some of them lost some of their part of their houses, part of their buildings and things like that. So NEMA will come in to see how we can ameliorate their situation.
Now, what is really mind-boggling here is the fact that as much as we hear or we see people die in this kind of incidents, people still are not deterred. You see, a lot of people still go to a scoop field even when they see danger looming. It's stated, or even on the body of the vehicle, that's highly inflammable. And when we see these tankers fall, people just they damn the consequences and go and scoop fuel, putting their lives in danger. Why do you think these has continued to be the case or be the trend?
Yes, the bottom line is that we have to take disaster management to the grassroots. The Director General has been in the forefront of saying that all local governments should have local emergency management committee, so that each local government will have a response team. So when that kind of a thing occurs, the local emergency management committee will go there and cordon off the area so that nobody will go there and there won't be any crisis. But when you don't have disaster management at the local level, it makes it cumbersome for people to respond to immediate disaster. So we implore state government to see that we look out, we can establish local emergency management committee in all local government so that when this kind of a thing happens, merely calling off the place, then asking for fire to put some material on it to cover the fuel, and it won't explode. So generally, we need to take disaster management to the local level so that people can be responsive and take care of their immediate need when there is a disaster at hand.
Now, you just talked about the people. I'm talking about people that are scooping fuel. What about the tanker owners themselves? I know sometime in 2021, the sector commander of Benue State mentioned the non-use of safety valves. How far can these go in trying to, curtail these kinds of incidents?
I think the guy has a contact. Probably the road safety will be in a better position on that. I think it has a valid insurance, and I believe there should be a measure of compensation to those who are affected. But aside from that, disaster is an unexpected thing that comes, and people are caught unawares.
See, talking about the tanker owners or the tanker drivers, do you think there are, measures that should be in place to deter them from this? Because a lot of them, I've seen personally the situation where two tanker drivers, fully loaded, were actually on a high speed trying to overtake, themselves. This could also lead to incidents like this. So are there measures that should be in place to deter them from, contributing to incidents like this?
Or probably the pipelines. If the pipelines are running, there won't be a need to be taking fuels in tanker. So the alternative of the railway and pipeline should be more on the front burner rather than trying to have these tankers on the road all the time, causing havoc here and there. This will be the second time in Ondo State. Sometime in Idori, the same time, we have similar thing. This same year, this tanker fire again. And in the same state again, we're having another one. So it's been tactic. It's like a daily occurrence that needs attention of everybody, not only the government.
Thank you very much. This is still Nigeria Today. We are still discussing our tanker accident. We'll take a short break now, but the conversation will continue after the break. Please stay with us.
The implementation of the ruling is also dependent on another aspect or another arm of government.
Nowhere in the world will allow under digital economy for banks not to be dispensing domestic currency in that economy.
What will make this one different?
We want to know what they do as occupation. All of these are attributes that our questions have been designed to investigate.
In a few days to come, you see that we are all around their own crannies and everywhere in Nigeria, telling people to cooperate.
Welcome to Nigeria Today. Welcome back. It is still Nigeria Today, and my guest is still with me. Mr. Kadiri Olarewaju is still here with me. We're still discussing our tanker accident. Mr. Olarewaju, I know you said something about having, if there will be no need for, lifting fuel to the tanker. But then again, in the interim, since we still have tankers driving on our roads, what do you, or do you think that there should be some form of sanction to, on reckless drivers, truck drivers, because it has almost become the order of the day, because when you see them on the way, just like the analogy I gave you earlier on. So what do you think in this regard?
Of course, there must be deterrence. There must be punishment for those who are unduly endangering people's life. There must be, because if we don't go that way, this thing will continue. Because if people are mindful of the fact that they can be penalized and they will have to pay penalty for their action or inaction, they will be more circumspect in dealing with other people's life and property. So there must be a need for us to come with relevant laws now to act as deterrents so that people engage in this kind of activity will be checked, because it's becoming alarming. It's becoming alarming. There must be a state for it.
It's becoming alarming. Okay, indeed, it's becoming. Okay, I said, indeed, it's becoming alarming. You know, we've talked about the sanctioning the tanker drivers. But then, in your opinion, what should be the role of the health, safety, environment and community of Nigerian midstream and downstream petroleum regulatory authority in curbing this menace?
Yes, I think it is more, the bulk of the something is on their table, because most of these products are coming from them. They should take legal responsibility and make sure that those who commit this thing are penalized. Because if we don't go that route, we'll continue to just be wasting on people's life, and people that are even ignorant of the danger of this thing will just be perishing for needless sake. Because I don't know what NNPC has, but I believe they should have a means of trying to verify the status of all these tankers and how roadworthy they are, so that they don't continue to cause havoc around the places. So it must be from them. It is their product, and they must be accountable for it. Likewise, the tanker owners and the tanker drivers, they must be made to account for this, so that there will be checked. If there is no action in that direction, definitely we'll still be on this spot and nothing will work.
Now, talking about the people that, you know, that whose lives are at risk, talking about people that come out to, you know, scoop fuel, do you think it is time there will be some form of orientation? Because I don't think as a person it's normal for you to see danger and you still go out there to, you know, scoop fuel, even though it's, you know, that this thing is highly inflammable, this product is highly inflammable. So in your opinion, what do you think should be, you know, done in terms of orientation, you know, to, you know, educate the people around areas, or educate Nigerians generally, you know, the danger of this, because it seems not to be, you know, it seems to be falling on deaf ears.
Yes, as I said earlier, I said we need to bring this disaster management to the local level, whereby we have a local emergency management committee in our local government. So we will now synergize with them and with the state. We will now be carrying out advocacy and sensitization program in and around the major roads that you have this tanker plying, so that we would inform them of the danger of engaging in this untoward practice of scooping fuel. It's like a suicide mission. It's like a suicide mission.
Okay, it's like we've lost him there. We were still talking about a tanker accident, and he was trying to let us know that it's a suicide mission, and all hands must be on deck to educate Nigerians on the danger. Of you know, engaging in such a nefarious activity of you know, going out there to scoop fuel. So we're going to take another break now, but we'll return. Stay with us.
Implementation of the ruling is also dependent on another aspect or another arm of government.
Nowhere in the world will allow under digital economy for banks not to be dispensing domestic currency in that economy.
What will make this one different? We want to know what they do as occupation. All of these are attributes that our questions have been designed to investigate.
In a few days to come, you see that we are all around their own crannies and everywhere in Nigeria, telling people to cooperate.
Welcome to Nigeria Today. Welcome back. We're still talking about the tanker accident, and I'm still with my guest via Zoom, Mr. Kadiri or Olarenwaju from NEPA. So, Mr. Olarenwaju, just what would be your parting thoughts to Nigerians? Having
I want to implore and all these trans and the local communities that when we have this kind of incident again, the community themselves should cordon off the area and let people move away and seek the help of fire fighters to come and demobilize the tanker so that it won't explode. That is the normal practice, and that is the way we should go. We should be mindful that there is a risk with petroleum products, but the community has to be a major stakeholder in this, so that because the people who lost their life are there, and it's their responsibility to see that this kind of occurrence, we don't have it again. Thank you.
Okay. Lastly, before you go there, just give us, what would be your opinion on the role of the community leaders, because they have a big role to play in all of this?
Yes, I think they have a lot of role to play, because in any community that happens like this, I will suggest we have something like a town hall meeting, and the traditional rulers and the community heirs will be there, and we will also oblige will be there. Then we'll have a direct talk with the people, so that they should be aware that this kind of thing should not reoccur. And even areas that are not even affected now, they should be looking at being proactive, at least those on those major highways, Lagos-Ibadan, Lagos-Benin Road. They need to, all the communities on this route needs to do it, so that we should not be waiting till another one occurs.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kadiri. And that's it on Nigeria Today, but a very big thank you to our guests from Ekiti, Zoom, Kadiri Olarenwaju, Head of Operation, National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, Ondo Ekiti Operation. Thank you very much for your time and contribution.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And also to our viewer, thank you for always being there. Don't forget the program Nigeria Today is weekday at 7:30 p.m. on NTA News 24. You can watch this and other episodes on www.youtube.com/NTA News 24 Hub. Once again, thank you for watching. I am your carrier, Clinton. See you tomorrow.